So I've booked over 4,000 sales calls, and I've done this for over 140 marketing agencies in over 70 different industries. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the scripts that are guaranteed to book meetings and the principles behind them so that you can take it, implement it today and get results and sign some clients. So what I'm going to do throughout the video is I'm going to walk you through the principles that near guarantee positive replies from your messages. And then I'll give you examples as we go along that you can take away. What I want to emphasize is don't just copy it verbatim, word for word, because if you can understand how it works, there will never be a point in your career where you need to book more calls. You will just have a winning script, and I promise you, you only need to figure this out once, right? I learned this skill when I was first starting out, and I've applied it, like I was saying, for over 140 agencies, and it's just never changed since then. So really try and understand the fundamentals behind all of this. Now, the first principle is that offers are outcomes, not guarantees. And to tell you a quick story, when I used to run the Done For You growth agency, right? For some context, we used to work with marketing agencies. We'd build out their offer, build out their bookings, build out their sales. And we used to book around 10 to 30 calls every single month. And then we'd help them close the deals and honestly everything else. And for this, we used to charge around 4,000 a month, 24,000 upfront. But again, we don't offer that anymore. So when we used to work with the clients, they obviously never ran like campaigns before. They would just grow from referrals. So I'd sign a client, the guy would be like 50 years old and he wouldn't know how to sign clients. So I would have to explain to him like, look, we're gonna have to use certain messaging, we're gonna have to make an offer, and we're gonna put this offer into the campaigns. And based on this, people are gonna reply, they're gonna wanna talk to you have a call, you close the client, right? It makes sense theoretically. But then what happened in a couple situations is we'd be ready for launch. We just spent all this time writing campaigns. It was perfect. We're ready to get going. We know it's going to work. But when we send it for approval, they're like, no, like I can't guarantee this. Like you're making these claims. The script looks fantastic, but we just can't guarantee these claims. And an example of what this would look like is we would write a script, very simple version of it, but we would say, if we're targeting agencies, for example, we help marketing agencies add an extra 10 to 30,000 per month on a pay and results basis, open to more info, right? This is an example of a script. But in their eyes, they would think, look, what if I send this to some person, but I can't guarantee 30,000? Like then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get sued. They would just panic for no reason. And the principle is that when you're making marketing claims, it's only an expectation of what is possible. So we helped a client add an extra 120,000 per month in 90 days. Now, in our marketing messaging, we can say, we've helped clients add this amount. Now, what we're not doing is we're not saying we guarantee this amount to everyone we message. We're just saying this is what's possible. So throughout the video, throughout the training, when you're making your messaging, understand that you don't have to get this outcome for everyone. On the sales call, then you figure out, okay, what are they currently doing? What are their stats? Based on these stats, what can you actually expect for them? And then using this number, you can make an expectation. Because obviously, if you speak to someone who's literally just starting their business, just starting their agency, adding an extra 100K in 90 days is not going to be very likely because they don't have the fundamental things in place, like a team, case studies, all of that. So the first lesson you can use and take away is to use your best case study as the lead in your marketing. And you can pretty much just say something like, hey, we just helped this company. So in our case, we helped a company called Flax Labs. We helped Flax Labs add an extra 120,000 in 90 days. Might be able to do the same for you. Would you be open to more info? That is a script that's worked many, many times, probably booked over 500 calls. So you can take away, use that. But again, understand the principle. Now, the second principle is to apply leverage. And a very common situation, and I was talking to one of my marketing agency clients about this on one of the coaching calls, is, obviously all of our clients, they join the coaching calls for accountability, motivation, all of that, but also to review what they're currently doing. So we review their scripts, I rewrite it for them, give it back to them, they just copy, paste it, get results. Same with sales, we review your calls, all of that. But he brought his tracking sheet for review, and he was using one of our outreach methods on LinkedIn. And basically, for every 100 people he messaged, he got around 5 to 10 calls. He had really, really good stats. But the problem for him was, he came to the call and he was like, look, like, it's not working. And I was like, what do you mean it's not working? Like, you have such good stats. He's like, yeah, but I need to get like 10 calls per week. I'm only getting 5. So the problem wasn't that his stats were bad or his process was bad or he was doing the wrong thing. He just wasn't doing enough of it. He didn't have enough leverage. So the advice that I gave to him is that he's doing setting right now. What I'm gonna help him to do, and what we did for him already, is to help him get a commission-based setter on board who can do the setting for him. So all the time that he's spending, he's gonna get someone else to do it on a commission basis. He'll pay them $30 to $50 per qualified book call, so there's no risk at all. and they're literally just doing exactly what he's doing. So now he's booking 10 to 20 calls per week. He's not having to do any work because he hired 2 setters, and now he's getting bookings. And this is an idea of applying leverage. You can do the same with automation. When we used to run cold email campaigns, we would test for the first 100 messages, figure out like a script that really works, and then it's like we just scale it. We just buy more domains, buy more accounts, and we go from sending 100 per day to 1,000 per day. And if we were booking 1 call a day, we went from booking that to 10 calls per day. Like, it can really be that quick. So we're going to go into more specific messaging in the next point. But if you have something working already, if you have something that is getting you some sort of results, look at the data and think, if I just 10x the volume, how many bookings would I get? And in many cases on our other videos, I literally just give you winning scripts that you can just copy. So if you just took one of those, did 10x the volume, like, you could have enough bookings for the rest of your career. Now, the third principle is called high output practices. And what I'm going to cover is 3 specific practices that we've found after running around 1,000 campaigns that you can use very, very quickly to just get results. Again, very, very quickly. Now, the first is called segment specific outcome. So let's say we're running a campaign targeting marketing agencies. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare 2 scripts. On one hand, we're going to say, we will help you grow your business, right? The message is so vague, it's so unclear, it's so broad that it's just not going to appeal to them. They're like, what about my business? You don't even know my business. But then on the other hand, the messaging goes along something like, we help marketing agencies to book 10 to 30 qualified, warm, high budget calls every single month, then give them content-based sales systems to make sure they're converting on 1 call at least 20%, etc. Like, you can see the difference in the scripting, but it's actually the same outcome. In both ways, you're growing the business, but because you're speaking to a specific segment, you're able to make your messaging specific to that. And the specificity, again, I promise it's not complicated, the specificity is what makes it appealing. It's what makes them think, okay, this applies to me, this is what I need. So immediately, what you can do is you can determine who your niche is for your campaign. If you have multiple niches, you have multiple clients, that's fine, just pick your best one, okay? If you don't have any, then also just pick one. So let's assume you have all these case studies, and then let's say you pick dentists. What I want you to do is just think, okay, the dentist wants more leads, fine. You're doing lead generation, it's very simple. But specifically, what type of leads do they want? So I have no idea what dentists want, but let's just assume there's something called some surgical canal removal, whatever it is. So let's say that's the procedure that they get paid the most for. That's super easy for them to do. It takes them 5 minutes, but they make 50,000 for it. Again, hypothetical. Instead of saying, we'll help you grow your business, we can take that to, we'll help you get more leads. Then we can take that to, we will help you generate 5 more surgical canal, whatever practices every month on a pay and results basis. So just by going a level more specific with what you're promising, it's going to be more effective. So think about your ideal niche right now, your ideal client. Think about exactly what they want a level deeper, and then use that in your campaign. So now that we understand that we need to go a bit deeper into who we're talking to, the next thing is the idea of the pay on results messaging. So across the board, across clients, across industry, we've seen one phrase that has, if anything, magically increased the results across everything. And it's the idea of performance basis / pay on results. And in any way, any script in any industry where we've put this wording in, it's drastically gotten more booking. Right, we have a client in the program who's doing this on LinkedIn. He booked 10 calls in a single day off of 1 account by just using this. And again, literally just a text-based message that he's sending out. And what this wording involves is simply, after your offer, after making it specific, you put the performance-based or pay and results wording at the end of it. Right? It's super, super simple, but I promise you it works more than anything. And if you can literally just say, if I'm going to a marketing agency, and this is, honestly, I'm telling you now, this is what we give for all of our clients who are just starting out, right? This is top secret information from the program, but I literally just tell them this. I'm like, look, just take your current offer, get it super clear, offer that you're gonna get them, this many leads, this many clients, whatever it is, on a pay and results basis, and just send it out everywhere. Like, you will get more clients than you know what to do with. So what you can do is you can just take your current offer. We help the dentist get 5 more canal surgery, whatever things, on a pay and results basis. Open to more info. That is one of the highest performing scripts that I've ever seen in the marketing agency space. And if you just send that out to enough people, I guarantee you will get bookings. And then the biggest concern that people have is like, look, I understand it works, but I don't want to do pure performance. I don't want to just risk everything on a client. It's totally understandable, and there's a couple routes that you can go. Either you can say that, get on the call, and just mention that there's a setup cost, which is completely understandable. I used to do that. I would charge like 5,000 to 7,000 in terms of a setup, and then a per booking basis. Or what you could do is you could just say on the call, that the pay and results implies a guarantee, meaning that, it costs a certain amount, maybe 1 to 3K a month, but if they don't get the outcome, they just get their money back. Now, I will be honest, you can get some pushback on this, but it's the case that if by having this, you can book an extra 20 calls, maybe 2 will give you an issue, but the other 18 are perfectly fine. It's like, it probably is worth it. So genuinely try this right now after this video. I guarantee it'll work. And the final way that you can really just drastically get results up is by tweaking the message delivery mechanism. And what I mean by this is everyone's sending text messages, whether that's via email, LinkedIn, whatever. Let's say someone sends an email, it's just text on a screen. There's nothing unique about it. But one of the easiest ways you can get your results up is by changing the vehicle. There was a strategy that was going around a while ago called the loom method. And in the email, instead of just adding some text, that attach a loom along with it. Now, it's gotten super saturated. Everyone's automating. It's all these AI tools, and now it's just not that good. But when it was working, people would attach a personalized video of them going through the script. So the prospect would know, like, this isn't an automated message. And just by seeing this, it breaks the pattern. And now it's getting massive results. In the same way, when we speak about the voice note strategy on social platform with video messages, this is one way, along with what we were saying before, like having a specific message for a specific segment, the guaranteed or pay and results messaging, plus having it delivered in a new way where people have to watch it. It's immediately going to get your results up. So using this, I guarantee you will get better results. If you want one-on-one feedback from myself, the actual copy-paste systems you can just, have put into your business, and the coaching calls, accountability, motivation to make it happen, then you can just book a time using the link below, and I'll just walk you through what it would look like, answer any questions, and we can go from there. But genuinely, you don't even need that to get going. Implement this, and I will talk to you in the next video.